Boom, what's going on, guys? For today's video, I'm going to be talking about how to get more calories in at the end of the day. So this is very helpful and beneficial for those who want to get bigger, to grow more mass, right? So let me give you a little background information on calories and what it does to your body, right? So if you're in a calorie surplus, that means that you're going to gain weight and muscle. You're going to gain fat and muscle and other things, right? But if you're underfed, known as a calorie deficit, you begin to lose the mass, the muscle mass and the fat. So you become skinny and kind of bony, right? But in a calorie deficit, you can still hold on to muscle mass if you have a high protein intake. So with that being said, you can gain muscle while being in a calorie deficit, but it's very tedious and it takes a very long time if you're wanting to get bigger on a calorie deficit, right? So calories is king when it comes to mass gaining, right? Or gaining mass overall. If you're constantly underfed, you won't grow how you are wanting, right? If you want to become massive, huge, right? If you want to break that plateau, you need to eat more. You need to consume more foods throughout the day, right? And I'm going to tell you people how to do that, right? So tip number one, right, people, is to understand how much food your body needs in order to grow, right? So in order to do this, you need to have a journal, or you could go like online and use a calculator on there, and you need to dictate how many calories your body needs in order to be in a calorie surplus, right? And you need to dictate how much calories will be for maintenance and for calorie deficit. So once you've understood those three things, then you could go along with your bodybuilding journey, and it'll be much easier to go about, much more effective and smooth, because you don't have a bottleneck causing any interruptions, and you have the knowledge and the experience to do this, right, without any obstacles in the way or anything to that nature, right? So once you've understand how many calories your body needs in order to grow, right, then you need to start dedicating yourself to this goal on a day-to-day basis, right? If you're not doing this on a daily basis, then you're not gonna grow on what you're wanting, right? So if you want bigger traps, bigger arms, bigger legs, bigger everything overall, then you need to continuously do this task, this job, this routine every single day until you reach the point where you're satisfied with your physique. Okay, so that is that. Now let me tell you people that you don't need a huge, drastic, dramatic surplus of food in order to get bigger, right? You need approximately about 100 to like 300 calorie surplus in order to enter a calorie surplus phase, right? Now anything beyond that is kind of excessive, and that would definitely lead to like weight gain and perhaps obesity, and we don't want that at all, right? That's quite unhealthy, quite excessive, and quite obsessive when it comes to your food. So you don't want to enter that type of situation. The situation that you're wanting is a healthy situation. You want to eat healthily, you want to exercise, and you want to be tracking every single thing, right? And like I said, you just need about 100 to 300 calories surplus in order to start gaining mass, in order to start developing more muscle, so on and so forth, right? So these foods are high in calories and are easy to eat. Okay, so these foods that I'm going to tell you people are high in calories, loaded with nutrients, and you can eat this throughout the day, every single day, to get all those calories in. Because if you were just to eat like bread, that's not a whole lot of calories. You need food that are dense in calories, dense in nutrition, in order to get that calorie surplus phase going, right? So number one is oatmeal, right? Oatmeal off the bat is versatile, portable, and convenient for everyone. You can mix almost anything with oatmeal, right? You can add in nuts, seeds, berries, fruits, and so on and so forth, right? You can have eggs with it. Oatmeal itself is very dense in calories, or high in calories, very dense, right? And you can add toppings and other things of that nature, making it a more calorie dense meal, which is very beneficial for those who have a hard time eating and or gaining weight. So oatmeal is the way to go. You can eat this for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, for snacks, or you can even have like granola little packets and start munching on them, because they're the same thing as oatmeal, right? Number 2 is rice. Same thing as oatmeal, very convenient, portable, easy, effective, high in calories, and it's versatile. Okay, so you can add almost anything to your rice, same thing as oatmeal, but completely different types of flavors, right? You can add in like meats, fish, eggs, nuts, seeds, what else? Lentils, beans, practically almost anything you can mix in with rice, and that itself will give you a whole lot of calories. The rice itself will give you a whole lot of calories, but once you start adding in the meats or the eggs or whatever the case might be, then that meal itself will be a calorie dense meal. So you cannot go wrong with rice. You can eat rice for breakfast, lunch, dinner, for snacks, in between, whatever the case might be. And it's beneficial for those who are trying to build muscle, because rice has carbohydrates, gives you energy, so on and so forth. Yeah. Right, the list goes on, right? Number 3 is protein shakes. Protein shakes are easy to digest, they're convenient, they're portable, and they're versatile, okay? Protein shakes can be low in calories, but then again, they can be high in calories. The reason why I add a protein shake to this list is because normally people wouldn't drink protein shakes on its own. They will have like a meal with it. So if you're gonna have a meal with the protein shake, then that's the best bet. But if you're just drinking protein shake by itself, then I highly recommend finding something that is high in calories, or finding a protein shake that is high in calories, and have like a fruit or vegetable or nuts and seeds along with it, in order to increase the calorie intake of that specific meal. Number 4 is yogurt. Yogurt is very beneficial for us humans to consume. Contains prebiotics, biotics overall. That means that it will help your gut health and help your body's health overall. Not even mentioning that. It is loaded with nutrients, very beneficial for us, and it's versatile, portable, convenient, so on and so forth. Very effective for us. Since it's very portable and versatile, it gives you the opportunity to add almost anything to that yogurt, right? Or vice versa. You can add yogurt to almost anything, right? Such as oatmeal, or like a smoothie bowl, or whatever the case might be. So you could add like peanut butter, nuts, seeds, fruits, veggies, and more to your yogurt. So if you're trying to have a high calorie dense snack or a meal or whatever the case might be, you could go for yogurt and add in some peanut butter, some nuts, some seeds, some berries, some fruits, and that itself right there is very beneficial, because it's loaded with nutrients, very, very healthy nutrients, I should say, and it is good in calories. It's not super low, it's not super high, but just right, okay? And it'll give you long-lasting energy, it'll improve your health, and improve your gut health, which is very important when it comes to absorbing their nutrients and digesting it, and so on and so forth, right? And that brings me to number 5, which is nuts and seeds. So nuts and seeds are powerhouses of nutrients, meaning that they are loaded with beneficial nutrients, the essential and vital nutrients for us humans that provide nourishment. Your body needs nourishment, or proper nourishment, I should say, in order to have longevity and to have a good performance, a high performing body, mental health, performing wise, and so on and so forth. Nuts and seeds will do that job. It'll give you everything what you're looking for. Not even mentioning that, but nuts and seeds are high in calories, if you guys did not know that. A simple handful of nuts and seeds will give you around like 500 plus calories. So if you think about it, if you have like a Tupperware and you're just munching on them, that's a whole lot of calories you're consuming in a short period of time. So they look deceiving, but believe it or not, they are loaded with calories. So you cannot go wrong with nuts and seeds. Number 6 is fruit / smoothie bowls. I kind of tied this in a long time ago with the yogurt and the oatmeal and stuff like that, but it's pretty much self-explanatory. Fruit and smoothie bowls are loaded with beneficial foods, nourishing foods, and they are high in calories, or can be high in calories depending on what you add to it or in it, right? So like I said, you could add well, I didn't say it, but fruit and smoothie bowls are versatile, meaning you can add almost anything to that specific meal. So you got nuts, seeds, berries, fruits, vegetables, oats, peanut butter, protein powder, and so on and so forth. So yeah, people, all of these foods that I'm mentioning can be altered and fixed in many different ways to satisfy your own needs, right? Number 7 is cereal. Now, I was kind of skeptical about this, but then again, I like cereal because it's something convenient and effective when it comes to gaining weight and just, you know, getting those calories in, because cereal is good and tasty, right? But here's a tip. Don't go for those sugary cereals. You want to avoid that as much as possible, because I'm a health freak. I don't really like to go for the junk foods. So when it comes to cereals, go for something that is much more organic like, and that is much more healthier. Don't go for those Fruity Pebbles or, you know, Captain Crunch. Go for something that is organic like, a little bit more healthier for us, and that itself right there will contain a whole lot of calories, because you got the milk, then you got the cereal. The cereal is most likely carbohydrate loaded, but there's also protein cereal you can purchase online, or if it's at your stores. I haven't seen any at stores, but I know there's protein cereal online, so go check it out. I think they're called like Magic Spoon. It's not even a plug for you guys, I just know about it, right? So you cannot go wrong with cereal. You can have that for breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks. If you got the munchies, you wake up in the middle of the night, you're hungry, cereal is the way to go. Or oatmeal or yogurt, you know, in the middle of the night, whatever the case might be. Number 8 is avocados. Avocados are high in nutrients, very good fat source, and it could be added to almost anything, such as your toast, your bread, your eggs, your whatever whatever you guys like avocados with. You know, avocado would do the job, even though they're not really high in calories per se, but since it could be added to almost anything, it has a lot of extra calories, so why not, you know, go about that. I myself don't like avocados, but I know they're very beneficial for us humans, so that's why I implemented it, right? Number 9, oh, this is a good one, which are potatoes. Potatoes are very good for us, especially for us bodybuilders, right? It will help build muscle, and it will help pack on mass, because potatoes are loaded with nutrients, loaded with calories, and loaded with carbohydrates. So it'll give you long-lasting energy, it will make you gain weight, and it's just good for us overall. So you cannot go wrong with potatoes. And it's versatile, portable, convenient, and it's inexpensive. It's cheap, right? So if you're trying to, or if you're on a budget and trying to not spend a whole lot of money, you know, trying to build muscle, or trying to become a bodybuilder, potatoes, eggs, certain fishes, tuna, peanut butter, oats, so on and so forth, stuff like that are cheap and very effective and convenient for us bodybuilders, because they will do its job, right? So that is that. So yeah, people, pretty much that is it. Those food that I've listed, the 9 foods, will definitely help you gain weight, become healthier, stronger, and an improved person, because these foods aren't junk related. They are actually beneficial and nourishing for us, therefore improving your strength and improving your bodybuilding journey, right? So let me just tell you what meats are high in calories. So I'm going to tell you some different stuff right now, right? So meats are high in calories, which are roast ham, beef pot roast, lean pork chop, chuck steak, and chicken breast. Okay, you cannot go wrong with those meats. Now these are the fishes that are high in calories. You got Atlantic mackerel, tuna, and canned sardines. Okay, now we got dairy foods that are high in calories. You got ricotta cheese, yogurt, and grated Parmesan. So you're probably wondering, what the heck can I add grated Parmesan to? Maybe like some pasta, maybe your chicken, I don't know. I don't really like Parmesan, but they're high in calories, okay? Nuts that are high in calories, which are pecans, pine nuts, dried coconuts, almonds, and peanuts. Okay, you cannot go wrong with those. And here are my meal preparation tips. So when you're preparing your plate, you know, your meal for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, listen up, because this is very important for you people, right? You want to add a mixture of foods onto your plate, you know, an array of foods onto your plate, right? You don't want to be just eating like vegetables on its own. You want to have vegetables, a carb source, a fat source, and a protein source. So you want to have a mixture of everything. So this will give you an array of nutrients, therefore providing more nourishment for your body, right? And not even mentioning that, since you have a mixture of everything, you have a little bit more calories to play with or to consume. So, you know, why not add in, you know, your vegetables and your fats and your protein and your carbs? You probably already do this, and if you do this already, just increase the portion size. That is it. But my last tip for you people is to, well, I got 2 more tips rather. The other tip is to do not skip any meals, okay? So like I said, have a mixture of foods within, increase your portion size, but do not skip on any meals. Do not skip your breakfast, lunch, and dinners, right? Snacks are optional, okay? But do not skip on any meals, because when you start skipping meals, you are skipping the calories. You're missing on the opportunity to grow, okay? So if you're one of those people that have a hard time gaining weight, do not skip any meals. And if you're fasting, stop fasting and start eating more. And that comes to my last tip, which is consistently eat more, okay? This kind of ties in with do not skip any meals, because if you skip meals, you aren't consistently eating. In order to grow, in order to break your plateaus, in order to get bigger, huger, you know, freakier, you need to eat more consistently or constantly, right? Now I'm not saying to eat like every hour, but you got to make sure that each and every meal that you consume are high in calories, essentially, right? Not too much, like you don't want to be stuffing your belly like on every single meal, like feeling sick, want to throw up type. Like, no, you just want to eat till you're like content, satisfied. You don't want to eat where you're underfed, like I said, in a calorie deficit. But yeah, like you don't have to necessarily eat like huge for breakfast and then you know, for lunch and dinner. You can eat like a low breakfast, you know, low in calorie breakfast meal, and then you just got to make sure that after that the rest of the day needs to be prioritized a little bit more when it comes to your calories or your food intake, right? So start adding a little bit more food onto your plate, or increase the portion sizes when it comes to your lunch and dinners, right? Especially after your workouts, okay? Depending on what time you work out, you know, if your workout is in between like the afternoons and your dinner time, perfect timing, because now your body has the time to utilize all those foods, to utilize all those nutrients into muscle building or into building muscle. So that's pretty much it, people. Thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave me a thumbs up, please share this video to others, and subscribe.